Dr. Todd is doing everything she can to make Jacob afraid of going to work. No matter what he does, it never meets her standards. She constantly puts him down, piles on an overwhelming amount of tasks with unrealistic deadlines, and then harshly criticizes his efforts. She didn't just fail to comfort Jacob after he was attacked by Bear Wolf while dealing with PTSD, she instead blamed him for misdiagnosing Kim Tate with mushroom poisoning, and even pushed for a formal complaint to be made against him. Things seemed to improve slightly not long ago when Jacob saw his boss lose control while dealing with an elderly dementia patient, who was later revealed to be her own father. During an emotional conversation, Todd shared details about her personal life with Jacob, allowing both of them to understand each other better as mentor and trainee. At least, that's what Jacob believed. Upcoming scenes in Emmerdale show that Dr. Caitlin Todd is still determined to make Jacob's working life miserable. Jacob feels reassured when Todd tells him everything is fine between them, not realizing she is secretly recording an audio note accusing him of being overly fixated on her. Later on, Jacob becomes uneasy when he learns that Todd is planning to move in with Vanessa Woodfield. This raises questions about whether a relationship could be forming, but either way, it's troubling for Jacob that she will now be living nearby. When Todd begins her usual psychological tactics again, Jacob reaches breaking point and arranges to swap shifts with Rich just to get away from her for a day. However, his relief quickly disappears when he finds out the change has resulted in him being scheduled to work with Todd again instead of avoiding her. Can things get any worse for Jacob? Unfortunately, yes. Todd is already manipulating Manpreet into thinking that Jacob is obsessed with her. Meanwhile, she continues influencing Manpreet Sharma, convincing her that Jacob's behavior is inappropriate. Will Manpreet believe Todd? Emmerdale appears to have hinted at Dawn's departure storyline in an early ITVX release, as her situation with Joe may finally push things past breaking point. Joe Tate clearly hasn't changed, has he? In the latest episode, it became obvious that he's deeply afraid of losing Dawn Taylor, as he resorted to telling yet another lie just to stop her from leaving him. Earlier in the week, Dawn spotted Robert Sugden going through Joe's computer. Although he initially covered his tracks, she later discovered the video Joe secretly recorded back in January involving Victoria and John Sugden. Dawn was left shocked and immediately confronted him. From her perspective, Joe had the chance to help Victoria, but instead chose to film the situation for his own benefit. Joe attempted to justify his actions, claiming he never planned to report Victoria and only kept the footage as leverage. However, the fact that he had hidden it for so long made Dawn feel sickened. She packed her belongings and told him she would stay at Billy Fletcher's place with their children for the night. In today's episode, Dawn tried her best to ignore Joe, but he quickly found a way to get through to her again. Despite all his flaws and obvious warning signs, Joe genuinely loves Dawn, and she still has feelings for him too. She made him promise that he wasn't keeping any more secrets, as she refuses to be part of his pattern of destroying other people's lives. Joe assured her that he wasn't hiding anything, and the two shared a hug. The truth, however, is that if he had been honest in that moment, he likely would have lost her for good, though that outcome may still be coming. Joe has yet to reveal that he was behind the destruction of Holly Barton's memorial tree just days earlier. At the time, Dawn made it clear that if he was responsible, their relationship would be over. That warning now feels like a major hint of what's ahead. With Olivia Bromley expected to leave her role as Dawn Taylor later this year, the question remains, will Dawn finally walk away from Joe once she uncovers the full truth? Emmerdale puts Robert and Aaron under intense pressure in a new video as they scramble to rescue Moira from a devastating fate. At the beginning of 2026, Joe Tate got hold of a video showing Victoria Sugden hiding the truth about John Sugden's death. As part of his plan to take control of the Sugden land, Joe threatened Robert and Victoria, demanding they hand it over for nothing or he would expose everything to the police. He later discovered ID documents at Celia's farmhouse and forced Robert into placing them at Butler's farm. Once again, using the video as leverage, Joe warned that he would report Victoria unless Robert cooperated. Robert went through with planting the passports, which ultimately led to Moira Dingle being arrested. At that point, he had no clue that Celia was involved in serious crimes like drug trafficking, human exploitation, and forced labor, and he was horrified to realize he had helped frame Moira. With no solid proof to clear her name, Moira told Cain Dingle this week that she plans to plead guilty during her hearing. Feeling completely hopeless, she believes this could increase her chances of being released before Isaac grows up. Aaron learned about Moira's decision and passed the information on to Robert, leaving him filled with guilt. In the latest episode, Robert teamed up with Ross Barton to expose Joe, but their attempt failed after things spiraled out of control and Dawn Taylor caught Robert in the act. After overhearing Ross mention that Robert owed him money, Aaron quickly uncovered the truth about the planted IDs. To Robert's relief, Aaron chose not to reveal his secret, but made it clear they must now work together to find evidence that could save Moira. In the upcoming episodes, they track down a storage unit in Houghton, which had briefly been shown earlier in the week. The twist is highlighted in a new clip, where Cami Hadid confirms that Ray's old car registration leads directly to that crucial unit. It takes some effort to locate the exact one, but eventually Robert, Aaron, Paddy Kirk, and Mackenzie Boyd manage to break in and uncover what's inside. The unit is packed with documents linked to Celia and Ray, giving Moira's family renewed hope that it could finally prove her innocence. But will this discovery be enough to clear her name? And after Robert's confession, what does the future hold for him and Aaron? Emmerdale focuses on Charity Dingle as she wrestles with overwhelming guilt during an upcoming baby shower storyline. In the next episodes, Charity continues to be troubled by the lies she's been keeping, while her granddaughter Sarah Sugden excitedly prepares for the baby's arrival. With the due date getting closer, Sarah is delighted when Charity offers to organize a baby shower in her honor. However, the celebration is also a way for Charity to distract herself from the truth she's hiding about the baby's real parentage. Completely unaware of what's really going on, both Jacob and Sarah express their gratitude to Charity for her efforts and support. As the tension builds, the question remains, will Charity finally reveal the truth? Or will she keep digging herself deeper by maintaining the lie? An insider from the show explains that Charity is trying hard to keep everything feeling normal. In a perfect situation, there would be no secrets, and everyone could simply enjoy the anticipation of the baby's arrival. But burdened by guilt, Charity uses the party as a way to avoid facing reality, even though it's unlikely to solve anything in the long term. It was previously revealed that the baby Charity is carrying for Sarah and Jacob was actually conceived after she slept with Ross Barton. This hidden truth is like a ticking bomb that is expected to cause major fallout later in the year, potentially destroying relationships, including Charity's marriage to Mackenzie Boyd. Earlier this year, the show's producer Laura Shaw hinted that the truth about Charity's pregnancy will eventually come to light in a dramatic way. She suggested that the secret surrounding the baby's real father is still being kept under wraps, but with the birth expected in spring, that moment could finally expose everything Charity has been hiding. Emma Atkins, who plays Charity, also shared that the situation mirrors past betrayals, suggesting Charity might feel somewhat justified in her actions. However, she admitted that real life doesn't work that way, and forgiveness isn't guaranteed. She also hinted that while the drama will build slowly, the truth is bound to come out eventually, because secrets like this never stay hidden forever. Emmerdale is broadcast on weekdays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.